How to save money if you have a baby. Welcome to the Hypno-Baby channel. I'm Dr. Natalie Fizet. I'm a retired family doctor who delivered 3,700 babies. This is your channel, so don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and be amazed. Of course, there's a big medical disclaimer. This channel is for entertainment only. You use it at your own risk. I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. Saving money with a baby starts at the hospital, or if you have a birthing center near you that's well established, it's going to cost less because you stay longer at the birth center usually. Home births are the cheapest, but like I said, I'm not a proponent of home births. 95% of the time it goes well, but there's that 5% time where any delay, if it does not go well, the delay could be too long, and I never did home births and I never will. So at the hospital, we'll first check if you have insurances and call them and ask them exactly what they cover, and maybe that's exactly what you need. So you don't need a private room, and sometimes you don't want to have the postpartum blues, and there's always like nurses coming in and out, so you don't usually rest much at the hospital. So being in a room with someone else is not a problem. And then if that's what's covered, you're not going to have the extra bill, which can add up really fast, like a couple of $100s per day. So ask what is covered. Sometimes they cover breastfeeding material, like if you need a pump, if you have a preemie, if it's prescribed. So check with your insurance exactly what they cover. So do take the time to call them and write your questions. What is covered? And think of everything that you can think of. Same thing for medications for the baby, or if baby has special needs, I don't know, any kind of special shoes, or hearing aids. Ask all those questions, and I'm sure you have a insurance policy. Again, read it very clearly, and that could save you a lot if you say, well, that's not covered. Also, if they want to do routine things, like, okay, let's do a routine exam. We're pretty sure it's going to be normal, but let's just do it, cha-ching, cha-ching. Always ask, and you can refuse exams. You can don't refuse because just for refusing. And I'm not giving any medical advice, but if they say like, we're going to do blood tests today, and we're going to do blood tests in 4 hours, and we're just checking for anemia, it won't change that much if you're not actively bleeding, so there's no point. So ask them. Always ask questions. Don't be afraid. What is it for? Is it necessary? Can I just have one instead of two? And always like this. The hospitals sometimes have samples, and your doctor has samples, and little bottle of Tylenol, and at one point there was a shortage, so your doctor can give you a little bottle of baby Tylenol, and that could be very handy. So never say no to samples. And there's registries that you can register, like Gerber's, like the baby food, and I'm sure the diapers. So sign up for everything, so you're gonna receive like freebies for your baby and shampoos and all kinds of samples. So that could be very handy. Also, you can ask around saying, I'm pregnant, and I'm going to have my baby soon. Do you have leftover for this or that? And some women say, I'm done. My family's done, but I've got baby shampoo. I've got this and that. So take everything. And then if you don't use it, you can re-gift it or donate it, and go from there. Never pay full price for diapers. Like I said, you can have samples, and then you can buy them in bulk, but I would not buy too much, because often we get too much of a size and the baby outgrows it, or they have growth spurt and they they bypass one size, and then you're stuck with diapers. The cheapest diapers is cotton, because then you have to wash them, but you have to buy some disposable diapers. If you're going out to the restaurant, you don't want to have a full cotton diaper in the baby bag, that even if you put it in a Ziploc, that smells kind of like a full diaper. So ask around, and if you're not good at couponing, there's women that they're professional couponers, and they're reselling diapers because for them they actually have money makers deals with the coupons and this and that and doubles. So never pay full price. Never grab a little bag of diapers at the convenience store. That's the worst place. And there's also like better places like big box will be cheaper for diapers, but you don't need to. Even the couponers will be cheaper, so then you can buy bags from them. Again, ask people around. You have like diapers left over. If you're in any kind of local group, like I'm in a neighborhood group to know what's happening in my neighborhood. Some people will post, I need this, I need that, and there's always someone that, oh, I have it, and they share for free. So that's really interesting. Government program, sign up for that and inquire. So take one afternoon and go online and check, or just call and they'll guide you to the places. If sometimes you have grants if you use cotton diapers, sometimes you have food stamps if you're really on a tight budget. Most baby clothes are not really used when baby is done, outgrows it. So buying secondhand is usually like it some clothes, and I had that too. The tag was still on there. So again, ask around if in your family or friends, if somebody has they can give you hands on. That's good, hands down. Sorry. If not, neighbors or Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. That there's always meet in a public place. Be safe. I had to say it. For the essentials, like we were saying in the other video, like being pregnant on a budget. If you have not watched it, I'll put the link in the description. um, Register at the big box store or Amazon, and then you get 15%. I think you get a special, and then you know that you're not going to get gifts in double that you'll have to exchange. And don't be afraid to exchange. People will understand if you had two strollers, you only need one if you have one baby. People will understand you want to change the stroller for diapers or bottles. For food, I have to say it, breastfeeding is the cheapest. Of course, it costs you nothing. Okay. So breastfeeding is the best, but sometimes you don't want to breastfeed or you cannot breastfeed, and that's okay. You don't want to invest in a big breastfeeding pump. You can rent them, and sometimes the hospital will lend them. Or there's also, if someone has an older, not an older, but had a pump and doesn't use it anymore, you can, there's disposable places like attachments. You just change those because you want to be like no bacteria, but the pump is good. You could reuse it. So you don't need to buy a breastfeeding pump. You get two pumps here, and you get the baby who's the best pump. And you can always, again, borrow one from a friend, and then there's attachments that you can really change the attachments. You don't want to, share attachments because of bacteria and possible infections. You don't need special breastfeeding clothes. I know they sell that with little traps and stuff. Either you can use the two t-shirt methods. You wear a big t-shirt above a regular t-shirt, and you just lift the first t-shirt, and then you have the privacy of the big t-shirt, and you can borrow the one from your spouse if your spouse is taller than you. You could also have the little blanket, which is what most women will use. So you don't need like special clothes that are very usually very costly because they're breastfeeding clothes, which you don't need. For the essential, the stroller, the crib, and the high chair, they have perfection the models right now that they can grow with the child. Like I've seen a high chair that can change in 8 different ways. At the end, it's a little table, and the kid is like 5 year old and coloring on it's the high chair that transform. They're transformers, so you only need one, and it's going to be good for the whole time of the baby. So do shop around and ask people and read the reviews and ask people, do they like their strollers, because there's so many. And you don't need a $500 stroller. A baby is a baby, okay? If you're buying secondhand, it's okay, but they have expiration date. That's kind of a little um, overconsumption, because 20 years ago we did not have expiration dates on all this. So changing car seats for babies every 2 or 3 years is kind of it brings questions to me, like what were we putting our babies in like 30 years ago? Was it really that bad? I don't think so. So I think it's overconsumption. Again, the car seat, I've seen some that can go from newborn until they're like ready to sit on the car. So they have like 8 different steps, and it's one car seat, so you only need one. The crib, you've seen those that transform into a bed, and then a single bed, and then almost like a futon. So you only need three of those. Don't invest in the bumper in the crib, because you have to remove it every night, because it increases the risk of baby having SIDS, like suffocating. So don't invest in plush toys that you would put in the crib and then have to remove them every night. No baby pillows either, because they're not recommended. They're actually like discouraged. Um, Also, if you're breastfeeding and you have any kind of trouble, I've seen on a forum, and I was like, oh my God. The woman said she paid $3,000 in lactation consultation. $3,000. Oh my God. I hope she got good advice at that price. And I don't know how could she run a bill like this. I really don't know. I think she got taken advantage of. There's free support group like La Leche's group. Again, go online, and and there's community services, breastfeeding support, and always write the word free at the end of your search, and you're gonna see so many things. Just like for classes, oh, baby yoga, it's nice to do yoga with your baby, or going in the pool, like mommy and baby in the pool. But you have that at your community, most probably for really cheap or free, if you in your area. So you don't need the private classes that are like, they have maybe like more colorful balls, but you're paying for that, like overpaying for that. So again, try always go free and see, or cheap, and you're gonna see community services, or really. And ask around, if you're taking walks and you see another woman with a stroller, ask her around, and also ask her if she has a babysitter, so that way when you need a babysitter, you're gonna be ready. All right, another big racket, baby food. Those little jars. I saw the price. I went, and oh my God, you can do your own puree. You can use an ice tray, and then you do little cubes that you put on a Ziploc, and you use a Sharpie, you write the date on it, and it's so much fresher. There's no preservative, there's no junk, and baby eats. I know now they don't recommend as much puree as little food. So if you're going on vacation or whatever, you could prepare like and freeze it in the Ziploc, and an ice tray, and then you put the little cubes in a Ziploc. You're gonna save so much money. Okay. The meat is harder to do if you don't have like a big blender, or a mixer. But so the little jars of meat is okay to get. You can get whatever, of course. I'm just saying, like, don't waste your money on doing a puree, because and then you'll get fresher food and whole food. So do your own puree. I highly recommend it. And then, well, it's gonna be more like a squash, because they don't do more puree. They want the baby to play and have like different textures and stuff. So here's something that's kind of obvious. Children 99% of the time have too many toys. Okay. So don't go crazy. Don't go wild like buying, buying, buying because sometimes they don't. I'm sure if you have older kids, like they never played with that. And I bought it and avoid the big trends. Like it's a baby. It doesn't watch, TikTok or whatever. So it doesn't know what's trending or not. I've seen like little wood toys for babies. Oh, it's going to stimulate his growth and everything, and it's like it's a piece of wood and it's $15 or $30 because it was designed by whoever. So be logical. There's good old toys, safety of course, no little pieces, you don't want to choke your baby. And sometimes secondhand toys, if they're really clean, again, they have to be very, very clean. But don't spend too much money. I spent too much money on toys, and my kids had way too much toys. And then you're gonna know you have too much toys when you have to pick them up at the end of the day. Okay, so you're gonna thank me saying, "Okay, Natalie's right. I did not need that many toys." Have a variety though, like if you have toys that make noise, and then the other ones that crinkle, a couple of books for bedtime stories, and they favor one thing or the other. And if you have two kids, they're going to fight for the same thing. So you can give them a shoebox, they're going to fight for it. If you have any other ideas how to save with a baby, but start saving for college if you want to help them go through college. Put your ideas for saving for babies in the comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.